ba ku gina menchen wa ha enti ye baby so no nso dia onim efa eye kokramyare a omubo hu deroyi ehu memo akwa ba.
Thank you.
Me pa cho din the same.
Actually, friend me like Ezekiel.
Me mente brofo ana pese ya ka brofo.
Your friend me like Ezekiel.
Okay. Na ye hu se wo ka enuanom ho amu nyina mo sha atare we wo ye hwan e de ma eye Michelle ana Michael. So man ko school Michael De-Graft Foundation.
Pacho free Michael De-Graft Memorial Foundation. And I'm a president of the foundation. Pacho.
Bibi kakra ben na obetimi aka fa sa yare yi hu de a che omanfo.
Pacho yare friend Hodgkin Lymphoma. Cancer affect bibi e system ni my friend lymphatic system. And yare we account but say anajo da na favorite till I'll be boa and I'll be lose weight unnecessarily. And yeah, dream say lose weight, also be lose weight.
Enti awareness ya mo create as a president and then I will work at your man for a fan. As a president, then I will catch a man for what message are you sending across to those watching us?
Yes, send the message. Yeah, now would say near my way but na yentem na call hospital na ye check up in mouth now so untumi mboa ho your numbers for fly so yeah you bet cheche dia man for and I bet me afre numbers bia na ya ma mboa atwan
enti then na wo kan ache omanfo ne krakra efa yare hu se ebia se obi enya yare we bia se dia wodi kan no betimi afre enti eden na wo hwe kwan se mu ye yi no eden fasode ebetimi dia bre on Ghana efa sa kokram yare we hu
pacho ni aye hwehwe ni se yare we ebenya hu eduru ema akio nkrofo no mo cancer no if you say send ya ejina hasisi a doctor say hwe ni hu aye be ya ebetimi akio no enti e pese en send message we across na mbo nkrofo a omanya cancer yi.
Yeah, that's it.
My name is Gertrude, and I heard about this Hodgkins Lymphoma last year. That was my first time ever hearing that there is a disease like that. So I realized that people don't usually talk about sicknesses. They feel that it shouldn't be said. But then when I heard that this foundation is coming on board, I realized that I could be a part of it. Talk to people, create awareness, let people know the impact and how it's very necessary and important to know about ourselves and keep ourselves healthy. So that's why I'm part of this Michael De-Graft Memorial Foundation, to create awareness, educate people, create evangelism as well. So that is all we are doing. We are creating evangelism and we are educating people on health.
Pacho, within the same.
Pacho, friend me Juan ya boy.
Anope ya ba behie mo ha ne ehwe wa hofade original ha. Eden na ekoso.
Me Pacho ye fi Michael De-Graft Memorial Foundation. I'm the founder of Michael De-Graft Foundation.
Na foundation mo ni so ade hunu ankasa enisen mujumedi enisen.
Me Pacho to create awareness about Hodgkin lymphoma, a type of cancer.
Okay, na obetimi aka bibi kakra fa sa cancer ya okay hu.
Okay, about 2017, my son was diagnosed with Hodgkin lymphoma, which we did not know anything about. So through research, we realized that it affects youth from 15 to 30. And after a long treatment here and outside, he gave up. So after I realized that we don't know the way it is. When you go to hospital, you get treated with malaria or any other before. It takes time before they get to know what it is. So I decided to create this awareness for the youth and everybody to know that there is something like that is happening to our youth. Because when you go to Kolebu 37, you see a lot of youth that has been affected, and most of them lose their lives.
So can you share some of the symptoms with us?
Yes, with my son, we saw that he was having a lot of itching rashes on him, and then he coughs a lot, you think it's TB or something, but it wasn't, because he was treated with TB, but it wasn't. He was reducing weight drastically. He sweats at night a lot, and then a lot of body change on him, body changes. So that's how come we got to know that it is a type of cancer that affects the lymphatic system.
So how did you get to know that, let's say, the exact cause of the sickness?
In fact, I will not speak for the doctors, because they said there is no cause. It just happened that your own body fights with your own body. It's a blood disease. So I will not go there. They said there is no cause. But per the research, I mean, it's better to notice it early. That one you can be treated and be saved.
So since you lost your child, how do you take it?
Hey, he's my only child, and it has not been easy. But I thank God for grace, and he has been my comforter since that time. And then his friends, they have been very, very supportive. All of them you see here are Michael friends from preschool and to Legon. So they have been around, and I'm also managing.
So how old was he before he?
Michael was 19, level 300 student, UPSC.
So what do you hope to see with this awareness that you're creating?
Yeah, I remember January 3rd when we started, a friend of mine saw it on our status, and then he called. He said that one of he's a nurse. He said a doctor saw it. He said, "Hey, my name say Yare we Ghana sir is really here. When you go to Kolibu, I'll plead with you to one day just go to Kolibu. You see a number of youth there with such problem. Very sad, and it's expensive to treat it, and because it's too late, they don't survive."
So did you get to hear about it before your son?
No. We started, I think he was in 3rd year in Legon. And then one of his teachers called me that, your son is not looking good today at all. So I rushed there and I sent him we go to a private hospital. So for 1 good month, he's been treated with all sorts of treatment, but not because they didn't know, because the symptoms looks like TB, normal cough, malaria.
Didn't they run tests on him?
They did, but you know the way it is, I think they did not even thought of it that it could be cancer. So one day we went and the doctor said, no, he wants us to go and see a specialist in 37. So we got there and we showed him all the lab that we've done already. And then he said, no, we should run this particular test and take a scan. Is it MRI? So that very day he was diagnosed, and by then they said we've got to stage 4. Just in a month.
So are you getting help from some places with this awareness that you're creating?
In the meantime, no. But we are trusting God that people will get to know it and will help us to go to other places, because we go to schools to talk to the youth about it. In case they see anything of that sort, quickly they report to their parents to be sent to hospital.
Apart from this awareness and also visiting schools, what else do you hope to do to create more awareness of this sickness?
We are working on it, that from here we'll go to maybe out of Accra with it to talk to people. And then one thing I wanted to say is it's not only about the disease, but it's about Christ too. Before my son, a night before he passed, he left a message that talks about Christ. What he saw before he's leaving, I didn't know he was leaving. He told me, he said, "Mommy, I want to start my evangelism." And then he posted a message. So we go with that one too, to talk about Christ, that we have Christ who help us in our situation. Even though Michael is past, I know he's in heaven.
So can you share with us some of his words and the message that he left behind?
Yes.
Okay, eti ebusuafo yare a ye mame e ka ho asem yi no cancer kokram yare a titiru no obi ho hu se bibitimi fua ne kon ho ne nsa ho te se pompo bi san so eno a empai enhye ano nhye aha saa bi saa na akwakoye na de be mu wehu se wanya yare bi a eti se ye na wo kire se utati mfifire anajo mfifire pa dodo na afi so wo bowa wo ye week ebi wo hono mo a wo home kra na wo bre ansa wetimi ahome na o se ne ba ne ebewu no o kire nsem bi egu hono mo ansa o wo nti no obeka ensem no mu de ewo mu kakra a kire yen.
Wednesday 8:07 exact time he said, "Mommy, I want to start my evangelism." And I said, "Please go on." So I realized that before then he said something. He was holding his phone. He said, "What is the use of having iPhone 12 and you cannot use it because you are so weak?" And then he wrote, he said, "I'm internally grateful to Jesus Christ for the great and mighty things he has done in my life. He comforted me when I had nobody. He healed my diseases and made me a new being. Jesus is always ready and willing to be there for any of us. All we have to do is to open up to and call upon him. He will answer us and deliver us from our problems. My newly discovered walk with Jesus has been amazing so far. I hope a lot more of you will join me on this path."
Wow.
He was alive when he wrote this message, and Thursday around 4 he died.
Wow. Accept our condolences. But what do you have to tell parents? We have a lot of parents when their wards are sick, they don't take them to the hospital to know exact problem with them. So what do you have to tell them?
Thank you very much. We went to a school to have this awareness, and afterwards one guy called that he has about 70% of the symptoms. So quickly we asked that we cannot send you, even though we support people financially, but we can't send you to the hospital without your parents' consent. He called the parent. The parent said, "No. But I'm begging them. This thing is really, really real. What my son went through wasn't what I went through as a mother. If we have seen it earlier, I'm sure by now Michael will be exactly. So begging them to take it serious. When somebody your child complain of this kind of symptoms, quickly send him to hospital."
So what do your foundation do if you get to see some people with this sickness? What do you do to support them?
Yeah, you know, in Ghana we have two places. Government hospital is 37 and Kolibu. So we have some of our board members are doctors from 37 and Kolibu. So we send you there. We pay for your treatment for you to be treated. Spinters, Palmer Hotel at Spinters Road, and the time is 3 p.m. Sunday, 29th May. Yes.
Until 29th May, baby, I will be a kid to a biensa, a crabby, I will submit me the abuano, a bet me I be the abua, unebi or the phobia, na assume they are by any yentem.